Tuesday. So hello, welcome to our cocktail stream. I'm not sure if it is warm where you are, but it is.
It's hot as hell.
Today was a really hot day.
Hot as hell here.
Yes, yeah. So it was in the, what did it end up being? Mid-90s?
97.
It did? Oh, so I thought
that's what I heard.
I think that was the record. I heard it was just below the record, but maybe
so.
maybe 96. So who knows? But I'm sure it was different. It was very hot. Yes. So it's perfect that the cocktail that I'd scheduled for today is happening, because for me, it's a cocktail I really enjoy, like sipping on if I'm really warm, especially because, you and I have talked before when we've gone out, sometimes if you're really thirsty, you might go, if we go get a bite to eat, or if we're going to happy hour, you might start with a beer because you're really thirsty. And for me, this is the kind of drink that if I'm really thirsty, I might start with, because what's nice about it is, I mean, you can make it, I guess, as heavy as you want, but it doesn't have to be. And even though there's a ratio that I will be talking about today with the Aperol Spritz, which is our cocktail for tonight, you can play around with it to really suit your taste. So I'm Philly. This is my hubby, and we are here doing cocktails on Tuesdays. Although I will tell you, I know you and I have chatted a little bit. I'm thinking about changing that to Wednesdays. So, by the way, if you are on the stream right now, please say hello. Let us know that you've joined us. We love to chat with the people that come on. We also like to know if you prefer Tuesday night or Wednesday night. I'm just feeling like maybe Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday.
It's hump day. Tuesday happens, and it's fun because it's something, a stream is fun, but then I still have a lot of my work week left, and I don't know, I feel like if it was on Wednesday, I might even be more jovial, because I know we were on the ladder.
You're on the downside.
On the downside. So what do you think?
It's probably makes sense. Probably makes sense.
I don't know. So
doesn't matter to me.
If you have any opinions, let us know.
I'm gonna have a drink on Tuesday and on Wednesday. So.
But I will say that I will let, of course, on Twitter if I change my schedule. My schedule is posted on Twitter, so make sure if you like this content and you want to see more, be sure and follow me on Twitter. It's Philly, and it's the handle at Philly Live. So that way you'll know about, food I'm excited about, drinks I'm excited about, and any switches in my schedule. But yeah, so my first time having, because I was thinking about when I had my first Aperol Spritz, and I'd actually kind of forgotten about when I had my first one, because I actually don't think I knew the name. I just knew it was this really yummy orange drink, and it was pretty, and it was yummy, and we were hot, and it was it was down at my friend Sandra's, and we had a girls' weekend down there. She lives off the Chesapeake, and we were going to be going boating, and one of our friends, Claire, made this. I had no idea what it was. I don't think she said, oh, maybe she did, and I probably forgot, but I don't feel like there was this whole, this is a new drink, it's called a blah blah blah, Aperol Spritz. It was just, she's like, I'll make a cocktail for the ride, and we're like, okay. And she put them in these little, have you seen those? They're like bell jars, canning jars, but they have little handles, and so they have a little screw top.
Yeah, a little mason jar.
Little mason jar. That's a better name. Yeah. Mason jar. So what was awesome is she mixed them all up. We screwed on the lids. Then it's not going to spill if we're not sipping it. So it was perfect for a boat. By the way, that was a really good hack. But they were beautiful. They were this gorgeous orange color, and they were so easy to drink. And they were good because we were thirsty, and it was a lovely cocktail. So
when was it? What year?
I don't remember. I'm
asking for a reason.
Quite a few years ago. I don't remember.
Because when I was looking at it, they said they didn't become popular over here until 2018.
Oh.
So Claire was on the...
Claire, you were a self-starter with this. You got it going.
I
really feel like it might have been, it was either right around then or maybe just before. I'm going to have to ask her next time I see her if she remembers what year that was. That is so interesting. So another thing that's interesting is I didn't really think about it until, I remember telling you about it. I remember coming home from that weekend and telling you that, oh my gosh, Claire made this amazing drink. And she actually gave us a recipe, but we did not buy Aperol at that point.
Yeah, you bought it.
Well, no, we didn't buy any of that yet. It took us a little bit to buy it. And there's a story when we bought it the first time, what happened. But then I remember, and maybe I have this mixed up, but I feel like I thought we didn't buy it, even attempt to buy it until after we were in the city, or is that wrong?
I think that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I became reinvigorated with it was my sister and I had gone to a Great Philly place. The place right by Zahav, the Italian place. Positano Coast.
Yeah, Positano Coast.
We'd gone to Positano Coast for happy hour, and they have a great happy hour. And the way their bar is designed, it looks out on, Old City and these great windows. And if it's warm, they actually open up the windows. And we were sitting there having this lovely happy hour. And one of the drinks on the happy hour was the Aperol Spritz. And we were like, sure. And I don't even know. I don't remember if the waitress told us more about it, because I don't think I'd really had that since that trip. Anyway, and it came in a glass like this, which is why I actually brought this glass, because this is an option. There's so many options you could put your Aperol Spritz in, and you can hear our dog laughing. If you wonder what that is,
water.
She picks the most inopportune times to drink water, but dogs need water, so that's okay. So go, Shelby, get your liquids. So, and my sister and I think both had Aperol Spritz, and they were really good. And I was like, ooh. So then we were talking, and did I just go buy it? I can't remember. Or did I ask you to buy it?
I think you asked me to buy it. Maybe we bought it together. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I remember buying it.
Because
I had never had it, so I didn't know what it was.
Right. But the problem was I didn't go back to my notes on my phone to look and see, because we'd taken a picture of the bottle of Aperol. So I told you it was
Campari.
I'm like, that's what we had at Claire's. So we buy this bottle of Campari. We come home. I look up Aperol Spritz. I don't even then think, ooh, it's not the same. It's not the same liqueur.
I think I had Campari because of Negronis. And I think you were like...
No, those Negronis came after. The Negronis came after. But anyways, because that was the pandemic then.
You're right.
But anyways, so we make an Aperol Spritz with Campari, and I was so disappointed.
That's right. Because
I was
looking for something for Campari, and that's when I started drinking Negronis.
So I had this taste, and I was like, this is not what I had on the boat. I was so disappointed. And he said, well, and I think that's when we figured out that I had the name wrong and we bought the wrong thing. And then you're like, well,
I'll find something.
I'll find something with, what's it called again?
Campari.
And so Campari is more bitter. And it was funny. I'm sorry I'm chatty today. And I promise you we'll get to the drink. But it's funny because this past weekend we had the Today Show on, and they were talking about, which we'll come to that later. Well, they were talking about like the drink of the summer, and they were saying last year the drink of the summer was the Aperol Spritz. So they were trying that, and they were trying this what the new drink is, which is something I will be testing against one of my like twists on a classic childhood drink, like not alcoholic drink, but it's adult version of childhood. Anyways. And I forget which one of the hosts was drinking the Aperol Spritz, and she's like, "Oh, that's bitter." Now, you all saw if you watched the tequila, the one we made, the Patron margaritas. Now, obviously, tequila's not bitter; it's just strong. But I certainly can make a face. Like, would you agree? I can make a face. And so, if you want to see a real fun cocktail stream, look at how to make like a really good
taste test
margarita. We do taste tests on tequila. But I was like, wow, like I'm really fussy with that, which is why I didn't like Campari. But personally, I don't think Aperol, with everything that you do with it, is very bitter. But I was just surprised to see that. So.
You gonna make this?
I am. So, the great thing about, as I mentioned, about the Aperol Spritz is it really is based on a ratio of 3-2-1. Oh, can you get out the Prosecco that So if you've watched our streams before, you also know that I love to get these little mini bottles of Prosecco. And I already opened it so I wouldn't have to struggle getting the paper off and everything. Now they come, all different brands have them. And I honestly, I just look for the ones that are the best price, because if I'm not drinking it plain, I know I'm really kind of using it as a mixer. So as long as it tastes okay, that's my main look for. So, but what's great about these is unless you are on a vacation with other couples, if we open up Prosecco, we're usually not using it, and Prosecco can lose its fizz. So I like buying these little ones because then they're much more suitable, and you don't feel like you're wasting any of the Prosecco, because I love Prosecco. Anyways, so here's the deal: 3, 2, 1. 3 ounces of Prosecco, 2 ounces Aperol, and look at that color. It's a great color, beautiful orange color. And then 1 ounce of sparkling water or club soda. And then I like to put a little orange garnish because it is orange. I already opened it up.
That's seltzer.
Seltzer. It can be seltzer.
Yep.
It can be club soda. It can be sparkling water. It's just, we need bubbly water. Not tonic water, but we need bubbly water. So this is what we had. So really it's whatever is going to help give some fizz. And then that's where you can see where you can adjust things. So if you want your Campari lighter, use a little lighter touch on it.
Aperol.
Thank you. I did it again. See, this is where I run into trouble. Is there anyone else in my boat? Because this is definitely where I run into trouble. Oh my goodness. So if you want a little less Aperol, then you can add a little less. If you want a little more Prosecco, you can add a little more. That'd be more like what I would do. And if you want it just to be a little lighter drink, then add more of the sparkling water, whatever you have. So lots of room for adjusting. So I'm going to make it just per the proportions. So, I have my ice cubes here. Now, you could make it in this lovely little, what's this called? Old-fashioned glass? I think it's called an old-fashioned glass.
Yeah.
No, I think they have names. I think that might be the name of it. You could do that, and that would be totally fine. But I feel a little fancy when I'm doing my little Aperol Spritz. So I like it in a wine glass, like a bigger one. In fact, sometimes I put it in the really big Pinot Noir ones, which is fun. So I'm going to put a little bit of ice in. I'll put a lot of ice. There we go. And then I'm going to do 3 ounces of my Prosecco. Oh, I gotta look. Now this is 1.5 ounces, so I'm going to do 2 of these. Now I will have to tell you, when I make this, I usually don't measure. I just eyeball it, but for our purposes, I'm going to measure it.
We never measure. We really don't.
Oh, I measure. Actually, I measure a lot of my stuff.
I don't measure any of my
stuff. But this one I usually don't, just because we made it enough times. My daughter-in-law, Carol, loves it, and so we make these a lot. These are great for vacation. Oh, I might need your help with that. It got a little sticky. So that was 3 ounces of Prosecco, and then 2 ounces. And again, if you don't like that much Aperol in there, you can always add less. So there's 1. Oh, my nose is super itchy, babe.
I'm gonna scratch it?
No, but I'm like trying to focus on pouring, and I just want to itch. Okay. Can you put the lid on that? Yep. Oh my goodness. Excuse me.
So.
And then 1 ounce.
1 ounce.
Or you can just top it off, like however you, not top it off, like I wouldn't fill all that up, but you could just, you could just throw in they sometimes say a splash. You could throw in a splash, okay?
So I was looking at Aperol Spritzes, and they were actually made back in 1920 in either Padua or Venice. I'm not sure which one. Ooh. That's pretty. Do you need to stir it?
No? Oh, sure. Does this have old fashioned on it?
It does not.
So Hubs is drinking an old fashioned because he'll have a sip of my Aperol Spritz, but it's just not his jam. It's not that he doesn't, not that he's opposed to it. It's just not your jam, right?
That's true.
So I'm gonna taste this. Try to get the this out of the way. Oh.
Can I taste?
1 second. You know what's cool? First of all, having the orange there gives you that instant citrus. And it's really refreshing. To me, it's kind of like an adult liquid flavor ice. So the flavor ice, those things you put in the freezer.
It's pretty good.
They have an orange one. It's just like a really refreshing. Like that's why I like it, because it's a refreshing summer drink. I don't want something in the summer if I'm hot. I don't want something knocking my socks off, because that will.
It's very easy to drink.
It's easy to drink, and it isn't going to kill you, and it's really nice. So that does not disappoint.
That actually tasted better than I remember it.
Well, maybe it's because we actually followed the proportions.
That could be.
You know, someone figures those out for a reason, and so maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, that's it.
So I will have to tell you, I put a little clue here. You see this green stuff in the corner? Because that'll be next week. Now, we will decide whether it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll probably be Tuesday, but we might switch it, and we'll let you know. So this is some yummy mint. Ooh, even just moving that, I can smell that mint. Because that's a hint as to our cocktail next week. Do you know what I'm making?
I can pretty much guess, I'm sure.
What do you think I'm making?
I think you're making a mojito.
I'm making mojitos, which is my second probably most favorite summer drink because I just think those are so refreshing. So I bought this mint plant this past weekend, and so it is ready to go. It is ready to make some mojitos. And I'm really excited because I've made mojitos a certain way, which were delicious, but they were a little messy, to be honest. And I was watching this YouTuber that I really enjoy watching mixed cocktails because he does a really nice job, that Anders...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Anders Ericsson or something like that. And he actually, like, when he was talking about making a mojito, it was so smart. I'm like, oh, that's what's happening, because when I make mojitos, literally the mint goes everywhere and it's in tiny little pieces. And my son, who you've seen on these, loves cocktails, but even he's like, that's just too much. There's too much going on. So Anders gave me a great idea, so I'm going to be trying that when I do. I'm going to try that when I do.
Okay.
So that's, I'm excited about that. And then this weekend on Sunday at lunchtime, I think I have it at noon. You'll have to check the schedule. We are doing flashback foods from our childhood. So when we had our stream this weekend, when I was making my grandma's 7-year cake, I wouldn't tell him like what it was because he completely forgot, because you know that happens sometimes in marriages. We don't listen and we just forget. So, but now, do you want to like give a little teaser as to what yummy things we are having?
I'm really frightened.
So what was it that you used to eat?
So this is really bad. So we used to have Spam sandwiches. So they would be, we'd fry them in the pan. We put them on toast of some sort, and I think it was brown mustard. And that was it. But I haven't had Spam for probably, I don't know, 40 years. So, and
I don't think I've ever had Spam, if I'm being honest. So I told him that I would fix
really
it
good.
And I will taste it. So what we'll do is we'll make our sandwiches that we grew up with, and then we will taste them to kind of think, do they still taste good? And then we will have each other taste them and see what our spouses think.
Can I switch mine?
So, and then mine, I'm so excited about, because this was like my almost every day at school lunch, because we made our lunches a lot. We weren't allowed to buy very often. I think it was like a certain amount of days, and we got to buy once a week, or maybe it was twice a week. I can't remember. So we brought our lunches a lot, and I would make this bologna and cheese sandwich. Any other bologna and cheese sandwich people out there? On Wonder bread.
Of course.
And white Wonder, and it was, I had a method. It was mustard, then it was white American cheese.
Yellow mustard?
Yellow, just plain old
like
French's yellow mustard. And it would be cheese, bologna, cheese, and then mayonnaise, and then the bread. And
so you had mayonnaise and mustard.
Mustard was on the top, mayonnaise was on the bottom. And then once I got, oh, you will.
No,
you will. You have to. I'm tasting Spam. If I can taste Spam, you can taste that. And then the piece de resistance was, I would take the chips, because we often would have chips in our lunch. I would take the chips that I took to lunch, and I'd lift up, I don't remember which side I lifted up. I don't know if it mattered, but I lift up one of the sides, I'd lay chips on there, I'd put it in and smush it down. And the funniest part is now you go fast forward to being in New Jersey, and we were by one of those Bobby Flay burger joints, and he calls it Crunchified, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have like trademarked that. I should have patented it. But it was so good, because on this really kind of not mushy, but like a very, there's no crunch in bologna cheese and Wonder Bread, but it gave it like this great salty, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I actually think you might like it.
Yeah, I'm really
I really think you will. I think you will. So now that's the kind of like sketch part. but the fun part also is we're going to start off by making one of my favorite cakes that my mom would make growing up in the summertime, and it was called Watergate cake.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my gosh, and she'd keep it in the fridge so it was cool, and the frosting was to die for. And then I'm also going to make one of our favorites, hacks, way back in the day. So at the malls back then, in the 70s, there was always an Orange Julius. Not restaurant, but like counter,
Yeah.
right? And so, and we didn't have the internet, so I feel so old when I say this. Can I just tell you? So I feel so old. We did not have the internet. I don't know how my sister got the copycat recipe, because she did. I don't know if it was word of mouth because we're that old, right? But she got the copycat. So at home we would make the copycat. Maybe it was in a newspaper. Maybe it was a newspaper or magazine or something. And we would make it in the I'm gonna get it wrong, the blender. I keep interchanging blender and mixer, and it was really good. So we're gonna make that. So we're gonna make 4 things. Lots of flashbacks. So let us know what your flashbacks are. What are some of your foods from your childhood? Maybe ones that you don't want to see again. But yeah, so we have a fun week ahead. So I'm very excited. So I hope you have a good rest of your week. I hope if it's really hot where you are, I hope we get some coolness. I know we're supposed to get cool down. Yeah, and I think this weekend's supposed to be stunning. So here's to the week ahead, and cheers to you, and cheers to you.
Cheers.
Have a great week until we see you guys again.